UFC 287 main event has been made, and it is indeed Alex Pereira versus Israel Adesanya 2. A super crazy matchup with a lot of hype built around it, especially after their last match and their match before that and their match before that. So Alex Pereira is now 3-0 against Izzy in general, 2-0 against Izzy in kickboxing, and 1-0 against Izzy in MMA. So he's pretty much beating him in every way he can, and I feel pretty bad for Izzy, but honestly, it just makes his fights more interesting. In honesty, his last fight was probably the most entertaining fight he's had in a while. So if Alex Pereira brings the best out of Israel Adesanya, I'm completely fine with it. So I'm going to be doing an early prediction and breakdown for this matchup. So let's get right into it. For this matchup, Israel Adesanya 23-2, Alex Pereira 7-1. Alex Pereira will be 2 years older. They're around the same height, obviously in the same weight division, and they have similar reach. I believe Tapology says 80, UFC website says 79, so I just went with the UFC website. So as of the UFC website, Israel Adesanya is a 1-inch reach advantage, but it is pretty similar. And then he will have a half-inch leg reach advantage. For Alex Pereira, his last matchup, again, was a KO win over Israel Adesanya in the 5th round. Before that, it was a KO win over Sean Strickland in that first round, put him out cold. And the same thing for Bruno Silva, except for it went to a decision. Looked pretty good. And that fight was a little bit more competitive, but he did look really good. Put the heat on Bruno Silva, who's a good fighter, even though he lost to GM3. We're not going to talk about that, though. But Israel Adesanya, I know, I predicted that one. That one was very rough. I don't know how he lost that fight. Israel Adesanya, again, lost to Alex Pereira in his last matchup, beat Jared Cannonier by a decision, beat Robert Whittaker by a decision. So for this one, I believe I actually, that was one of my better videos, was predicting and breaking down this fight originally. So I'm going to be running through the last fight real quick. I'm going to go over it very briefly because it is a very important fight. We got a lot of takeaways from it. We got a lot of takeaways from both fighters. So for their last matchup, or at least in their first MMA bout, in that first round, Alex Pereira and Izzy, I believe, was kind of even. I think Israel Adesanya and Alex Pereira were kind of trading a little bit until the end of that first round, and then Israel Adesanya landed, I believe, one clean punch. I don't know if the second punch was after the bell or not, but it's pretty close. But he landed really good shots on Alex Pereira, and he kind of fell over. Clear damage there, so the round goes to Israel Adesanya. Second round, Alex Pereira lands some really good shots, kind of previews what happens in the 5th round. He actually had chances to not necessarily finish the fight, but he was getting some really good reactions out of Israel Adesanya in that second round. He was pressuring forward, limiting the distance that Israel Adesanya normally keeps from guys, because they have the same reach advantage, and because Alex Pereira is really good at leg kicks and he's good at checking. He's able to keep a good distance. He's also really good at cutting off the distance from Israel Adesanya towards the cage. So when he would pressure Israel Adesanya, he would back up and not let Israel Adesanya get out. And when Israel Adesanya would get out of that position, he would throw a left hook or a right hook, which other way Israel Adesanya rotates out. He was actually rotating a lot to the right, so that's why Alex Pereira was able to time a lot of left hooks. He did land some really good shots in that second round. So I gave that round to Alex Pereira. Third round, I believe Alex Pereira was kind of edging it a little bit until he went for a takedown. Oh, yeah, he went for a takedown at the end of the second round. Got it. Oh, in the third round, I believe he was starting to edge that round a little bit until, I believe it was 2 minutes in. And Israel Adesanya, it wasn't Israel Adesanya. Alex Pereira went in for a takedown. Israel Adesanya kind of reversed position and was able to get him down. Israel Adesanya showed better grappling. It wasn't the best grappling. I think he probably should have done a little bit more on the ground there. It seemed like he had all the positions right, but couldn't use it necessarily effectively. Alex Pereira definitely got dominated in the grappling positions. He did a really good job defending the takedowns throughout this fight, but when it came close to the ground, I don't know if it's because he has the longer legs and he's got a bigger upper body with the long legs, and he's a super heavy guy. It was kind of hard for him to get his body up. And the weight cut also, it kind of tired him out that round. It kind of screwed up the fight for Alex Pereira in that fourth round, following the third. I gave that third round to Israel Adesanya because of the the grappling. Fourth round, Alex Pereira was super gas. So it looked to me like he was kind of sitting that one out. He's trying to recover after the third round. So he's trying to get his cardio back and his conditioning back. So I gave that round to Israel Adesanya, landed some good shots for basically 4 minutes of that round, and then Alex Pereira kind of went at him, landed some good shots towards the end, but I did give that one to Israel Adesanya. So I had it 3-1 Israel Adesanya going into that 5th round. 5th round, Alex Pereira was super juiced up. He was all recovered. He wasn't tired. Looked really good, came out pretty fast, and went directly at Israel Adesanya, cut off that distance, not landed a good check, but Israel Adesanya went to kick him. He checked it. Israel Adesanya went back, even though Joe Rogan and DC at the time said that he tripped. It did look like a check. I believe Israel Adesanya did say it was a check, his peroneal nerve, but that was probably the worst Israel Adesanya impression. But got up then. What Israel Adesanya was, I guess I'll talk about it after, but got up then. Alex Pereira rushed him, tried to land some good shots. They backed away. Alex Pereira did a really good job cutting off the spaces where Israel Adesanya was able to escape. So he's able to pressure him, keep him close, and then again landed that left hook. And again, right hook. Got a good impression out of Izzy. I believe it was a left uppercut, got another one, and then another left hook, and it kind of stumbled Izzy to the ground. And the whole finishing sequence there looked really good. Kind of reminiscent of that second round, but I think Alex Pereira definitely landed a little bit more cleaner there. So he won the fight off of that. You can argue early stoppage, but he was like kind of grabbing at the air, and he was taking a lot of damage. So maybe he probably could have taken a little bit more, but I don't think it was necessarily a bad stoppage. So for this one, I think actually in that matchup, Israel Adesanya did a really good job of kind of clinching up. Although he never really wins those positions. Like when he's in the clinch position, I always see his opponents outworking him. If you want to look at the breakdown video, I kind of included all the snapshots of his last few matches where I thought like these guys could definitely beat him if they just utilized the clinch and was able to cut off the distance against the cage. But for this one, when Alex Pereira went for the clinch, when he went to cut off the cage, Israel Adesanya clinched up and was able to like turn him around so he was not able to be like cut off towards the cage. So he wasn't really trapped in there. So he's able to turn around on Alex Pereira. Even though Alex Pereira was definitely a little bit more active in those positions, he's able to kind of turn Alex Pereira around so that Izzy was no longer in a bad position and he had like the whole octagon to move around with. So he did a good job there. But eventually Alex Pereira was able to catch him a couple times, again in that second round and that fifth round. I believe there's a few times in the other rounds also. I want to say the fourth round, but Alex Pereira was super tired. He had him trapped off, but it didn't seem like he was throwing for some reason. So the factors that I got from that fight that will be introduced in this one, I think Alex Pereira has felt Israel Adesanya. Like I think he's felt his grappling. I think obviously the stand-up may be an issue for both fighters. Like these guys are very good kickboxers. Alex Pereira probably the better kickboxer, pure kickboxer, even though you can argue Israel Adesanya beat him until he didn't in that second fight, but he did come on short notice. Anyways, Alex Pereira has the power and he has really good kickboxing skill, which kind of makes up for the technical abilities that Israel Adesanya is, who's super fast and super quick. So it's kind of like a give and take for this matchup, but there's going to be no surprises for Alex Pereira on the ground here. Israel Adesanya kind of showed his grappling game. Alex Pereira can prepare for that. He actually did a really good job defending the takedowns, kind of had really good hit position when Israel Adesanya was going for his takedowns. Not until Israel Adesanya reversed positions. Alex Pereira went for a takedown. He kind of put up his leg. I don't know why Alex Pereira put up his leg, but Israel Adesanya kind of just reversed the other way. So that was a bad move for Alex Pereira. I don't think he'll make the same mistake. And with Glover Teixeira being retired now, he's going to be able to focus fully on Alex Pereira for this matchup. So I think that's a big benefit for Alex Pereira. I think Israel Adesanya's his mental coming into this matchup is not going to be the same. I think people were talking about that in their last matchup, and with this matchup, I think it's probably going to be worse. Like, this dude has beaten you 3 times in both sports. You can argue that you're beating him then, but you didn't finish the fight. So mentally, it is kind of a worry for Israel Adesanya. How does he feel this fight? Is he going to come out aggressive? Is he going to be worried to engage? Like, is he going to overthink this matchup? I don't know. I feel like it's a big question there. We'll see what happens there. And I think the leg kicking battle, you saw Alex Pereira win that. I think he does a really good job checking the kicks, and that's a big issue for Israel Adesanya that a lot of guys were not able to figure out. The leg kicks from Israel Adesanya were tearing guys up. And his previous matchups, like the Whitakers, the Vittoris, and the Cannoniers, he's doing a really good job leg kicking. And a lot of guys weren't able to stop it, and Pereira was. Even the equal reach really benefits Alex Pereira here. But for this matchup, I think I am going to go with an Alex Pereira TKO. I think he gets it done earlier than the last time. I think it's going to be more of the second, third round. I don't think it's going to take him to the 5th round to get that look, or not that lucky shot, but to get that shot off. I think in the second round, there was a big opening for him to actually maybe have a chance to finish that fight. It looked very similar to that 5th round, but he landed a way cleaner shot in that second round, or I'm sorry, in the 5th round. So I think he can kind of replicate that in the second round. Maybe Israel Adesanya lands some really stiff jabs on Alex Pereira in that first round. I think it's going to look pretty similar. I think they're both going to be investing into that fight. I think they're both going to be leg kicking in that first round. Maybe Israel Adesanya wins that one, lands a few stiffer punches, but I think I can see Alex Pereira walking him down, landing a good left hook in that second round, and then again just hurting Izzy. I think Izzy goes in for a takedown, and I think Alex Pereira will knee him. And I think Israel Adesanya is going to back up, fall down to the ground. And I can just see Alex Pereira putting him way on the ground. But that's kind of stepping forward a little bit more. I think Israel Adesanya is going to definitely try and get the takedowns very early here. But I think Alex Pereira is going to be able to do a really good job defending. And I think even on the ground, I think he's going to be doing a really good job defending in the grappling situations. I think he's going to be so much better here. He's 35 years old, but this is a whole different sport. He's going to learn a lot more. He is, I believe, a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I may be incorrect there. He might be like a brown belt or something, but he's very good. He knows jiu-jitsu, but I think the grappling situations he can definitely learn from, especially from Glover, who's going to be completely focused on him in this matchup. So I'm going to go Alex Pereira. My second or third round TKO. I think he hurts Izzy. Izzy shoots in for like a takedown, or it kind of wavers around a little bit, kind of like the 5th round, wavers around a little bit. I think he's going to panic shoot a little bit. He's like, oh crap, here we go again. He's going to panic shoot. I think Alex Pereira is going to hit him with a good knee. I think Israel Adesanya is going to back up and kind of fall to the ground, and I just think Alex Pereira is going to put him out on the ground. Maybe not necessarily out, but pretty close, because Alex Pereira's power is just insane. And Izzy's chin is really good, actually, too. So in that MMA fight, their last fight, Israel Adesanya showed a really great chin. He ate those shots pretty well, better than most of the guys that Alex Pereira has fought. So down below in the comments below, who do you think will win this matchup, the second matchup? A very intriguing matchup. We'll see who wins this. Could mean a lot for the middleweight division. Could mean a lot for Israel Adesanya. I would be kind of worried if Israel Adesanya does lose this matchup. He's already gotten like face tats and some weird photos on his Instagram. So I'm going to go with Alex Pereira, second and third round TKO. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, let me know down below in the comments below, who do you think will win this matchup? And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next time.